to talk about something in the writing in our test. Okay? So you guys did very well. The only thing is how you can improve on putting the sentences together. How do you connect your thoughts together? Because you guys write like there is something something, there is something something, there are something something, right?
Yeah.
I want you guys to look at these sentences and think of a way to connect these together. So look at here, we have sofa here and sofa here. Table here and table here. Is there another way to reframe the sentences to make them more connected? For example, this can be the way we start. There is a sofa in front of the wall. Next to the sofa, there is a table. Do you see my idea?
Yes.
And then on the table, there is a vase. Basically, you change the order of the sentence, right? And another way to make things more connected is that you can elaborate on the object you're talking about. For example, if you're talking about vase, you can write more than one sentence for it. Maybe talk about where the vase is from. It's from my friend. And also put something more there. Okay? And there's another way to connect the sentences. You can use some transition words. For example, when, that's not a transition word. For example, like so, therefore, however, but, they are a kind of transition word. But in this case, we cannot use so because there's no cause and effect relationship in it, right? So what kind of transition word can we use? For example, I can use also. Also. If you say something before this, for example, there is a bed in my room. And you can say there's also a nightstand next to my bed. You can use also. This is one transition word. Transition means to change from one idea to another. And you can also put this word also in the beginning of the sentence. Also, there's a nightstand next to my bed. It's the same. So except for this word, also, can you think of some other words with the same meaning?
Almost.
Same meaning. And? And there's a yes, and, but pay attention, we don't use and here. Because we usually use and between two sentences and we put them into only one sentence, right? But this can stand alone also, and it can start a sentence. What we can use is besides or moreover. Besides, remember there's an S. Besides, it means also.
Every time besides, come on.
Another sentence, yeah. It can be used in other topics. For example, he's my best friend. He has long hair. He's smart. Also, he is very popular in my high school. Or besides, he's very popular in my high school. Just use this word to connect one idea to another. Okay? Now, let's look at this passage. What kind of errors can you see? Anything wrong here?
Maybe almost twice. Windows.
Which one?
Room.
Room?
Yeah, room here and room here.
Is it what room?
Why
Yeah.
is the word?
It's not about repetition. We're not talking about a way to improve your writing. We are talking about some grammar. So you
What
said
is the word?
wardrobe is a closet where you put your clothes, put your clothing.
I say window.
Very
Which
good.
is S.
So why do we need an S here?
Two
big
Very good. Two big windows. Pay attention to singular and plural. Anything else?
Any picture?
Yeah. The picture above my bed.
There is.
Yes, you should say there is a picture above my bed. Or you can say the picture
Also.
is
Is.
above my bed.
Mhm.
If you don't want to say there is, don't forget the verb here. The picture is above my bed. Very good. Anything else? Think of punctuation. Do you use comma here? Is that how you write your...
Maybe you need to dot.
What?
Dot.
Oh, dot.
Dot.
Agree.
Yes, very good. Dot. We call it period.
Period.
Yeah, that dot we call it period.
Period.
Oh, so we don't use comma.
Yeah.
We use period. Okay? Why? Because this is a full sentence. You already finished your thoughts, right?
Yeah.
So change this into a comma. No, change this into a period. 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 And also, if you change it to period, you should change this to a capital letter, like a large T, a capital T, of course. So what you need to pay attention, punctuation. That means period, comma, question mark. They're called punctuation. And if it's singular, don't forget a. If it's plural, don't forget s. Okay? And also the be verb. We must have a be verb in a sentence. The picture is above my bed. Please scan what's on the worksheet. So what do you think it's about? What do you see?
I think about the routine.
Very good, that's a good word. Do you guys hear what she
Routine.
said? Routine. Routine. Yes, it's about daily routine, right? Or daily activities. Routine means something you do regularly. Now I want you to first put down your partner's name. So can you guys work together? Can you guys work together? And you'll work with me, okay? So what are you going to do? Put down your partner's name. Yep.
H-H-H.
Do you know how to spell each other's name? So after you finish,
Bashar. I think you Bashar.
you can start to put down things in the blanks. So basically, you're going to make a guess about your partner's daily routine. Now, you're going to ask and answer each other to find out about their daily routine. So, for example, if if Ray will ask Jihui, the first one, you should say, I think that you wake up at 7 every day. And if it's right, and Jihui says yes, and you put a tick in the column right or wrong. Okay? If it's wrong, what do you put? If it's wrong,
Minus.
not minus, a cross.
Okay.
Yeah, a tick or a cross in the right or wrong column. So if it's wrong, Jihui should make a negative sentence. What does that mean? So Jihui should say, no, I don't wake up at 7 a.m. So this is how you make a negative sentence. You say, I don't, right? And after that, Ray should continue to ask a question to find out the answer, right? So, because you're asking about time, you said, what time do you wake up every day? And then Jihui can answer, I wake up at 6 a.m. maybe. And then a reason, because I go jogging in the morning. And the reason is optional. If you want to put the reason, you can say it. If you don't have any reason, you can just end at the time. What do you need to do? If it's wrong,
Say no.
use I don't, yeah, and use I don't something. So try to use 4 sentences. Okay? Don't say 6 a.m. Don't give the answer. Use it 4 sentences. Okay? Now let's start. Okay. So if you are finished, try to find out something that you have in common. So what do you have in common?
We usually stay at home.
Well, you
in the
usually
morning.
stay at home.
In the morning.
In the morning, okay. That's a good common thing. What about you guys?
We have a coffee for breakfast.
You have what?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Coffee for breakfast.
Coffee.
And salad for lunch.
Healthy, very healthy.
Yeah. And we have our lunch at our workplace. And we finish our work at 6 p.m. And in the evening we are watching TV.
You watch TV.
We watch we watch TV.
Yes, we watch TV. So who gets up the earliest here? When do you wake up?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock? When do you wake up?
Why?
Oh. So can you say that to us? When do you wake up?
I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning.
Very good. I wake up at.
Actually, I wake up
5.
5:80.
At
But I wake up from bed 6.
Oh, I see. So you wake up at 5:30 and you get up
Yeah.
at 6 a.m.
Okay, my alarm wake up me at 7, but I continue sleeping till 8.
The alarm clock is not working every morning, right?
Yeah.
So pay attention here. Don't forget the at before each sentence. At, I wake up at 6 a.m., for example, every morning. So I have lunch at my workplace, right?
Yes.
Very good. I have lunch at my workplace. So remember, we put some extra information, for example, about the time and place in the end of a sentence. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
When we talked about some facts about people in the world, for example, 13 billion people speak Chinese in the world. We put in the world, like the place at the very end of the sentence, right? So this is the same here. We put the place and also the time in the end of the sentence. Okay? And let's look at this. So can someone read the time for me? What time is it?
9:50. 15.
Who would like to try? For sure.
A quarter past 9.
Yes, that's a good. A 9:15. Is there another way to say that? 9.
15.
Very good. 15. And what about this? What time is it?
9:50.
Good. 9:50. What's the difference between these two words? 9:15. Which one am I reading? 9:15.
15 is
The
first
first
one.
one.
The first one. Good. 9:50.
5
Second.
there.
Okay, so the first difference is the stress. Where's the stress? For 15. Teen, very good, 15. And where's the stress for 50?
First F.
Yes, the first F, very good. And the second difference, do you see?
Yeah.
They have different spelling, right? Teen, this is a long E. Teen. And this is T, a short E. 15 and 50. Okay. What about this? How do you read this?
10, 19.
Very good, 10, 19. So Bashar, can you read? This?
10, 16.
Very good, 10, 16. What about this?
540.
540.
40.
540. Okay, good job. I have egg for breakfast. Do I have egg or eggs for breakfast?
Both.
Both eggs.
Oh? Do I need to put an S here? I have eggs for breakfast. Or I have egg for
How
breakfast.
many eggs?
How many eggs? One egg.
You,
Egg.
of course, egg.
Egg.
If I only have one egg, and it's countable, right? So
Yeah.
I should say
Egg.
I have an egg.
And egg.
An egg for breakfast. If I have more than one egg, what should I put here?
Eggs.
Yes, eggs. So remember, if it's countable, if we can, because we can count the eggs, we say an egg or eggs. Okay? What do you have for lunch? What do you have for lunch?
Sandwich. Sometimes sandwich. I will.
Can we count sandwich?
Yeah.
So I have sandwich or
Sandwiches.
very good. I have sandwiches for lunch. Do you have one sandwich or two sandwiches?
One.
So what do you say here?
I have a sandwich.
Very good. I have a sandwich for lunch. So Jihei, what do you have for lunch?
Korean food.
So I have
Korean food for lunch.
very good Korean food for lunch. Do you need a or s here?
S.
Are you sure? Do we say Korean food?
No.
Never, right?
Yeah.
Because food is uncountable. It's like furniture, sheep, fish, water. We don't say S. And Ray, what do you have for lunch?
Chinese food.
Chinese food.
What?
Yeah, of course, my host
Yeah.
family is Chinese.
Yeah. So you have Chinese food for lunch. Can you ask Alex the question?
What do you have for lunch?
I have a salad.
You have salad. Do you say salad or salad?
Salad.
Very good, salad, because it's like food, uncountable. Can you ask Bashar the question?
Pasha, what do you have for lunch?
I have salad too.
Ooh.
So you guys have salad for lunch. Very good. Do you have any questions about how to ask? For example, like this, I ask, what time do you wake up every day? Why do we use what time to ask?
Because we want to know our time.
Yeah, because we want to know about time. So we use what time to start the question, right? So we first think of what WH word we're going to use. If you're asking about time, we use what time or maybe when, right? If you don't want to know the specific time. And then we say do you comes next. And the rest of the sentence stays the same. For this, wake up. And for this, it's still wake up, right? And what about this one? So how do you ask a question about eggs, about the food?
Still what? What do you?
Yes, what? Because it's something, it's a thing. We use what. So how do you ask the question?
What do you have for breakfast?
Very good. What do you have for breakfast?
Or do you have eggs?
Mm,
For my breakfast?
yeah, do you have eggs for breakfast? That's another way to ask. But if you don't know what he or she, what Alex has for breakfast, you should ask, what do you have for breakfast, right? So it's still the same. You first say what, and do you, and everything else stays the same. Have for breakfast, have for breakfast. What about this one?
What time?
Can you tell us how to ask this?
What time do you leave home in the morning?
Very good. What time do you leave home in the morning? Okay. And what about this?
How do you go to work?
Great. So when do you use how? We are asking about the way someone do something. We use how to start the sentence. How do you go to work? Number 6, how do you ask the question?
What time?
Mm-hmm.
What time start? Do you start your work in the morning?
Can you repeat that?
What time do you start your work in the morning?
Very good. What time do you start to work in the morning? So let's go from this direction. Bashar, could you ask a question for number 7?
What do you have usually in the lunch or eat?
So first you say what, and then do you.
have
Everything else stays the same. So what's left? What
do you have?
do you usually? There's a usually there.
Yeah.
Do
What
you?
do you usually have for your lunch?
Very good. Can you say that one more time?
What do you have usually for your lunch?
What do you usually have for your lunch? Yes. Now there's a chance for you to know something even more about your partner. Okay, so can I have you guys change your seats? For example, can Jipei and Alex can change your seats, please? So you have new partners. So you're going to create your own question for your new partner. Think of something you would like to ask your new partner. You would like to know about your partner. Some words you can use are here, like play, watch, have, go. These are some words you can use. Of course, you cannot. You don't need to use them all. And you can use some other verbs that are not in the list. For example, a question I may ask is, do you play football? If I want to use play. And do you drink beer? Do you like beer? So, and then maybe I can ask, do you like horror movies? There are a lot of questions you can ask. But just remember, start with do you. Okay? Now can you put down what you would like to ask in the column here, in the first column? Put down what you would like to ask. For example, if you are going to ask, do you like beer? Just put like beer here. Okay? If you're finished, it's the same. So ask your partner your question, but remember, for example, if my question is, do you stay up late? You should answer, yes, I do. No, I don't. Don't say yes or no. Say it like completely.
And sometimes.
Yes, that's a good way. Sometimes. And after that, still you're going to ask another question, right? So, do you stay up late? No, I don't. So what time do you go to bed? And if you can't think of any questions, you can skip that. But try to find a way to ask a follow-up question. Okay? So let's start. And note down things. Note down new information in the right column. Okay?
Where's my partner?
Note down. Write down
I
things.
think no down.
Write down things on the right column. Now, who would like to tell us about your partner? Who's feeling good? Telling something.
I can try.
Yeah, so Alex, you can go first.
Just to push you.
watch movie, but
Mm.
unfortunately she has no time for this.
She doesn't have.
She doesn't have time for this.
Mm.
She like read books
Mm.
and she get up early every morning,
Mm.
except the Sunday.
Okay.
She prefer eat smoothie in the winter time.
Oh, smoothie in the winter time.
Yeah, so my question was about do you like eat ice cream in the winter time?
Uh-huh.
And she said she prefers smoothie.
Oh.
And she often stay up late.
Stays.
She eats.
She often stays up late. We'll talk about it. Stays
Without
up late.
ease, yes.
It's not ease.
She
It's
stays up late.
she often stays up late.
She often stays up late.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So first, can you tell me something you heard about Rosanna?
She's woke
So
up.
just keep ladies first, okay?
She usually drink milk or coffee in the morning.
Very good. Drinks coffee in the morning. So what did you hear about Rosanna?
She
Likes good. So anything you heard?
She is walks up early morning every day.
She wakes up.
Wakes up early morning every day,
She wakes up early every morning.
except Sunday.
She wakes up early every morning
Every
except
Sunday,
Sunday.
and she go to works
Hmm.
by subway.
Yeah, very good. So Alex, can you repeat one sentence you just said? Can you repeat any one sentence you just said?
She likes to read books.
She likes
Read books.
She likes reading
Reading
books.
books.
Very good. So let's look at this. So why do I put an S here? She likes reading books.
Rosanna is one person.
Very good. So pay attention. If we are talking about something else, something except for you and I, we call them third person singular. For example, I is first person and you is second person. And he, she, it, we call them third person. Third person singular. And for these kind of subjects, we use S or ES after the verb. Likes. And can you tell me another sentence? She
goes to work by subway.
Very good. She goes to work by subway. So why don't you say she go to work? Because she is a
Third person.
third person singular, so she goes to work. Sometimes we put ES here. Goes to work by subway. And now let's look at this word, like. So why don't we say Rosanna likes read books? We say Rosanna likes reading books.
Continue.
No, it's not about continue. It's just a habit of using words, another verb after like.
Because she's doing.
It's not about she's doing, it's not about continuing. It's just about how we use the word after like. So
It's same
people
to
usually
lead.
say,
It's same to lead.
If we say like, we put the ing.
Yes. So there are two ways. You can either say she likes reading books or she likes to read books. To read books. There are two ways, and they're the same. For example, if I say Rosanna likes watch movie, is that right? Rosanna likes, don't forget the S, likes watch movie. Is that correct?
Watching.
So it's
To
the same.
watch.
To watch, likes to watch movies or likes watching movies. And another question, can I say Rosanna likes reading a book here? And Rosanna likes watching a movie. Do we say likes watching movies or watching a movie?
No,
Which one sounds better for you?
watching movies.
So why do you say watching movies?
Because she
Because it's a
Need the
habit,
verb
but like
for the watching. Need the are
Mm-hmm.
or is somebody watching movie.
So for this, if because movie is a contour noun, right? So basically, for other cases, a movie and movies both work. But in this case, we never say watch a movie because we are talking about a general thing. Movies. Rosanna does not just like watch one movie. She likes to watch a lot of movies, right? So if we're talking about habits, we usually use movies instead of a movie. Okay. It's the same, likes reading books. Because you read a lot of books, not just one book, right? And it's the same. For example, if I say, I like pandas, it's better than I like a panda. Do you get my idea? Because I don't just like one specific panda. I like every panda. So I like pandas. So these are the same cases. So what do you like, Bashar? For example, what fruit do you like?
I like avocado.
Avocado.
Avocado is fruit.
Yeah. Or is it
I
a
didn't know
vegetable? I like avocado.
No, she's smart. Maybe it's vegetarian.
Vegetarian?
I don't know. Vegetable.
Vegetable. Maybe it's a kind of vegetable. So it's avocados. Right? So Alex, what do you like?
I like avocado too.
You can say, yeah, I like avocados too. Avocados too. Rosanna, what do you like? What fruit do you like?
Strawberry.
What?
Strawberry.
Strawberries. Yeah, strawberries. So how do you change it to a plural? Strawberry?
Ah yes.
Yeah, very good. Strawberries.
Strawberries.
Okay. So Ray, what animal do you like?
I don't know.
What animal do you like?
Tiger.
You sure?
Cat.
So
I
You
like
like-
cat.
very good. You like cats. This S is necessary.
Cola.
Cola. Do you like colas? You like colas?
I haven't seen that.
This is so funny.
Yeah, they're so cute. They're so fluffy. They're so soft.